determined by the local government commissioner, a man in Wellington, and it could actually affect sort of restructuring in a wider capacity, not just South Waikato and Mount. But all I'm passing on in my submission is what I'm getting the feeling from a number of people who have approached me. So I felt that I had a duty to put that forward. And that was the last element of my submission and the board submission. So with that explanation, and we'll leave questions to the end, the Mayor, Neil, if you wanted to respond to my comments or any other comments or submissions.
Yeah, and thank you, because I think just a couple of points, a few points that I'd like to make. First of all, I served on the Tirau Community Board, and when we went on to that Tirau Community Board, we as a board, and Gordon was there, and welcome Gordon as our previous mayor and what you have done, that we actually voted and said we will get rid of the Tirau Community Board because we didn't have any power. And first of all, I guess I will acknowledge the dedication and work and the passion for Tirau that the community board members had. But under legislation, quite frankly, they're toothless. And we in Tirau were toothless. We could talk about fixing up a pothole, and I think our biggest thing was probably getting a bike rack. But when the Tirau Community Board folded up, Pride in Tirau took over. And for a group that could only ask council to do things, Pride in Tirau became a group that did things. And tonight as I came, sitting in their office, there were 10 people from Pride in Tirau actually sitting there working. So if you stop and think about what took place with the community board and what took place with Tirau and Pride in Tirau, everything from the water park, because they could raise money in their own right. If you walk around the water park, you'll see the bricks with all our names on it because we gave money, because they could do it that the community board couldn't. They run business after 5, they do the Christmas parade, they do the water festival, they've done markets. And of course, they were able to do the practical because they could get outside money. So they could do things rather than ask for things. And so that was the advantage of being able to be out there. And if you look at Pride in Tirau, you'll see the wide representation of business and people on it. So they could do and became a doing group rather than a group that had to ask. So congratulations, and of course they now have had people, and you would know them, like Mel Moon and Ali Vanderheim, and I forget young Gallagher's Pauline, Gallagher running it there, and now they've got Lee Jackson as a paid person to get out and to give support to the volunteers that wanted to work. I think Tirau has been one of the most exciting parts that I can think of when you think of the Wow Festival and the Scarecrow Festival and the Sunflower Festival. But there needed to be people behind Sharon Crozier, as she did that here, to make quite certain. And so we as a council have said, hey, it's not money, it costs more to run Pride in Tirau than it did the community board. But it was better because the community got going. And I see the same because of the talent you have in Tirau to actually pick up, so there are more than just those 4 people sitting on your community board. So that's that part. I am concerned that within both Councillor McGill's submission and that of the community board, to touch on what Terry said, that people have said, if we don't do it, we're going to look at going to Matabele. That's disturbing. Because as mayor, I get a lot of people coming in and saying to me, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to 7 Sharp. And 7 Sharp's gone, never mind. Or I'm going to Fairgarden, or I'm going to the Ombudsman, or I'm going to do this. does anybody work when you have a threat over your head? Have you made the right decision because it was the right decision, or because you had a threat? Now, I find that as mere scary. Now, if Tirau wants to go to Matamata, do it. I will not stand in your way. If Tirau wants to go to Matamata, and I understand Terry has said, hey, I'll fund a petition to find out what happens. If that's what you want, do it. Go out and tell council that yes, we want to go to Matamata. But if you do decide that, please make quite certain that you know all the facts. Make quite certain that you know that then the Tirau will be the entry to the South Waikato, not Tirau. I am passionate about Tirau being the northern entry to our district. But if you want to go to Matamata, okay. Because we wouldn't as a district have to fund the eyesight. We as a district at present, for those of you who know, the Drakes own the land and they're actually talking about selling both the dog and the sheep. Now Craig and I have been talking about, should we as a council buy it? Should we? Or do I?
Can we ask some questions?
Right at the beginning, we were only going to be talking about.
Well, that's why, but part of that there was, if you don't do what, if you don't do our community board list, we will move. And at present, there has the thought that Tirau is the Cinderella and doesn't get its fair share.
We are losing our...
Yeah, it's time to let us have our say. Sit down.
I would like to say a lot more than what you've got to say. The phone is pretty short. Now, I can tell you about behind closed doors. The South Waikato District Council, I know damn well, Craig, you talk behind closed doors. Now, you're saying we're not allowed to. That is a load of crap. Now, as a ratepayer, as in rural and the local people, the rural people actually can claim GST on their rates. That's tax on tax. But the people in the town don't get that. Now you're trying to take away, and Neil said, you said, don't talk about the bribery, these other things. Now, what we don't even get out in the rural sector is what we pay for, we don't get out. Roadside mowing, blackberry spray, nothing. Now, I reckon we've been ripped off big time out here, and it's about damn time that the line is cut out, that width is road, and we'll go to Matamata. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and that's an option.
Yeah, the best one.
It's better than the bullshit you're coming out with.
Right, look, come on, let's give the mayor a fair go. I personally think the mayor's drifted off on some tangents here, wouldn't be of the laws to everyone, but the major submissions here are relating to the future of the board, as far as I can see. And we'll take meetings, after the mayor's finished, we'll take questions. I'll take them through the chair. So I'll let the mayor finish his comment.
All I'm saying, licensing there, is decide what you want and then let us know. But always be careful for what you wish for, you might just get. And if that's the case, and I agree wholeheartedly that if we could find a way to make rates which are an iniquitous tax, how we could find a different way to fund it. And if you're a farmer in Aitemuri that lives on highway roads, so council doesn't pay a thing towards that, we don't do anything else down here, but they have to pay the rates. We can't find a way, if we could, we would do it. If you're dead right, how do we give value to the rural rate plan? And that's a difficult one. We try, but that's the way the legislation is, because we're legislative body. So,
They need to understand that we've got a lot of great players here in Tirau that live on State Highway 1, State Highway 5, State Highway 28.
Yep.
Just the